Since I like going back and listening to my old thoughts, I'm currently in the process of re-uploading some of my older videos in order to make them more compliant with YouTube's policies on reused content. But since I didn't want to do a lot of editing, here is the audio from my original review for this movie.
I cannot believe that this is the first time that we get to see Robert Downey Jr. in a major motion picture since his excellent performance in Endgame. This movie is bad. Everything about Dolittle is bad. The story is bad, the dialogue is bad, the vocal work is bad, the CGI is bad. Everything is wrong with this movie. Robert Downey Jr. has this horrible accent, and he somehow makes other people with real English dialects sound worse. Antonio Banderas, Michael Sheen, and Jim Broadbent give performances that are, thankfully, not absolutely atrocious, but they all play terribly one-note characters. And the voice actors weren't much better either. You can easily tell which characters were voiced by Emma Thompson, John Cena, Kumail Nanjiani, Octavia Spencer, and Tom Holland, so their voices pulled me right out of the narrative. And here's the plot of said narrative. Dr. John Dolittle has isolated himself from humanity. The only company he allows within the confines of his lush manor are an array of exotic animals that he can understand and speak to. But when young Queen Victoria becomes gravely ill, the eccentric doctor and his furry friends embark on an adventure to a mythical island in order to find a cure. Now, that sounds like a decent story that could be enticing, but it's not. Spoiler alert, the cure Dolittle is searching for comes from the fruit of a magical tree, which I think is supposed to be some sort of parallel to the Tree of Life, but it's never explained. And this tree is guarded by a dragon, because fuck it. And the only way Dolittle can pass is not by slaying the dragon or befriending the dragon, but by pulling a bagpipe out of the dragon's asshole. That's not even a joke. I believe this dragon is constipated and in pain, so we have to endure the pain of watching RDJ perform an extraction on it. Who the fuck thought this was a good idea? People in boardrooms had to agree to put this scene in the movie. This is the climax of the film we're talking about here. Why would... I don't know. Is this what the original books were like? I'm pretty sure Eddie Murphy's Dr. Dolittle films also have a similar extraction scene on a dog, so maybe someone just really likes butthole humor. So after the satisfying conclusion of Endgame and watching RDJ give justice to a role he spent over a decade playing, a role in which the fans love, the first thing he does is stick his hand up a dragon's ass. It's no wonder why this film bombed critically and financially. It'll only be a matter of time before we see RDJ back in the MCU in one form or another. Because for a film that is supposed to be adventurous and enchanting, Dolittle is just not. I get that the filmmakers were probably just trying to make a simple, family-friendly film, but they failed spectacularly. And I don't mean any disrespect, but I do think the director was just way over his head on this project. It's not even a movie that's particularly nice to look at. I was forgiving towards the CG in Call of the Wild because all of the other story elements worked for me. But I can't say the same thing about Dolittle's use of CGI when everything else is just so bad. The only thing I really liked about the movie was the first few minutes. The opening scene of the film is animated, and the story that this animated segment tells should have been the narrative of the entire movie. I even enjoyed the style of the animation. So yeah, the whole movie should have been animated, and the rest of the film is nowhere near as compelling as these first 2 minutes. Oh, and I guess I also liked Craig Robinson's voice as Kevin the Squirrel. He was funny, I suppose. But Dolittle was truly an underwhelming experience. I know I can be harsh on kids' movies, but this film was just bad on a whole other level. I can't see how anyone, including kids, could like this movie. I'm pretty sure it's going to be remembered as one of the worst films this year. So think twice before seeing it, because that is 100 minutes of your life that you will never get back. I would honestly rather watch Cats, because I would likely give Dolittle 1 out of 5 stars. Thanks for watching.